Hi, I'm Bonnie Doolittle. I'm the founder and executive director of New Mercies Ministries, and this is my love story. In my personal walk with Christ, I go back as a little girl, 6 years old. My parents were divorced due to domestic violence, drug abuse, and other very sinful habits. And the very first time that I saw God's love show up for me was when my grandparents, who were followers of Christ, they introduced me to Christ. And immediately, in a dark period, which you can only imagine, I began to see God's protection. Being raised by a struggling single mom whose hair was always on fire, who was constantly stressed out. There was a lot of abuse and neglect in my home. And I prayed all throughout my childhood that my mom, she would have this transformation, this feeling of protection. Like as a little girl, I knew what was inside of me. I knew that if she could have that, like her hair would not be on fire at least as often as it was, After college, I entered the corporate world and was intent to not repeat any of my parents' mistakes with my children. And I was also bent on climbing that corporate ladder all the way to the top. And the Lord just kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, smacked me upside the head and said, come back. And I left my career, long, successful, 6-digit income career, to jump all in to ministry. Having the Lord plant me in a ministry that is serving single mamas and serving vulnerable children, vulnerable families, socially isolated people living in poverty. And we get to share the gospel. It was just like the perfect alignment. A verse in 1 John comes to mind where we need to fellowship with one another. Every single person that we serve in our ministry have a secondary crisis of being socially isolated. I would love to see our city eliminate that. One way is if the Christian family would show radical biblical hospitality, as in Hebrews 13:2. As followers of Christ, we're called to be doers of the word and not hearers only. I spent a lot of years being a hearer, and my encouragement today is for you to be doers of the word, not just showing on Sunday and hearing the gospel, but out there doing the gospel, showing the gospel, sharing the gospel. Open your homes and offer hospitality, whether it's in this ministry or in your daily life. God has called in each and every one of us to something specific and unique to us.